pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call the roll. Mrs. Shumway.
Here.
Mr. Gertz.
Here.
Mr. Warndorf. Here. First item of business is to approve or amend the meeting minutes.
Move that we approve the minutes from the last meeting of March 10.
Okay, did anyone have any, no questions? Okay.
Mrs. Shumway.
Oh, yes.
Mr. Gertz.
Yes.
Mr. Warndorf.
Yes.
Volunteer of the month.
Okay.
Marissa, can you come up, please?
Geauga Park District recognizes Marissa Fleming, Volunteer of the Month for the March of 2015. Marissa embraces the maple sugaring program this season. She volunteered throughout March, assisting with timber tots to show the youngest naturalists all the wonders of maple trees and the sweet treat they provide. She also helped educate numerous school children during the visits to the Sugar House for education programs and assist Girl Scouts in earning their tree badge as they toured Swine Creek Reservation. Additionally, Marissa celebrates Mesa season by volunteering at the 27th Annual Tree Tappers Ball and assisted with the maple snacks in the lodge and the Sapsa Rising Sunday. Her enthusiasm and dedication to these annual traditions is genuinely appreciated. We appreciate it, Marissa. And with that in mind, I'm going to sweeten you up. Permanent laryngitis decided she didn't want to talk, so we said that's fine. So it's all, thank you so much.
Thank you very, very much, sincerely, for all your time.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have an employee, Rod Fife, who we would like to recognize today. Rod, would you come forward, please? Let him take a good long look at you. This is a resolution whereby Rod Fife has faithfully served the district since April 16, 1990, when he was hired as a Tech 2 during construction of the Meyer Center, gathered stones from Big Creek for the face of the fireplace and exterior walls, and built many permanent displays within as maintenance and construction supervisor, and today as West Operations Maintenance Tech 2. Whereas Mr. Fife has exhibited exemplary skills in woodworking, felling trees, construction, building, and training younger staff, and hired numerous individuals who remain on staff today. Whereas Mr. Fife has been instrumental in getting Big Creek Maintenance Facility built in 1995 and expanded in 2002, and was the person behind the push for an in-house sign shop there. Whereas Mr. Fife led or participated in countless park improvement projects, including construction of the Westwoods Affelder Link Trail, which we're all just beginning to enjoy, Sunnybrook Preserve Bridge, Orchard Hills Park Sledding Orchard Hills Park Sledding Hill Burn, and multiple Bessie Benner Metzenbaum Park structures, lodge fireplace hearths and parade floats, trail repairs at Sunnybrook and Orchard Hills, top dressings on sections of the Westwoods Pioneer Trail, design installation of prep tables in the lodges at Sunnybrook and Rotary, transmission replacement on the Gondo utility vehicle, modification of trash centers to eliminate water damage, replacement of numerous well pumps, and I'm sure numerous other things. Whereas Mr. Fife worked as a handler for the Clydesdales, Vicky and Charlie, then on the purchasing of Belgians Rick and Jim for wagon rides, sleigh rides, and sap gathering in Swine Creek. Whereas Mr. Fife has worked more native arts festivals, previously wildlife carving and nature arts festivals than any other staff, and is recognized as an art installation perfectionist. I'm glad we were able to keep you, not having to go to the art. Whereas Mr. Fife is a veteran of the U.S. Army, was OPOTA certified in '95, completed Cleveland Heights Police Academy, Parks Recreation Management School, and Supervisors Management School, and served on the original Regional Parks Conference Committee. Therefore, be it resolved, Geauga Park District Board of Commissioners extend its gratitude to Rod Fife for his contributions to preserve, conserve, and protect the natural features of Geauga County, and to provide outdoor recreational experiences to our residents of every age, every ability, and at all times of the year. And it's been signed by all three of us. So, Mr. Fife, won't you please come forward and accept our congratulations.
Michelle, can you hop up there, or are you going to sit there? That's fine.
Next is presentation of the financial statement. Michelle, go ahead and do that.
And I'm going to do it from over here today. All right, we began the month of March with, in our general fund, $5,557,835.06. We had expenditures of $462,310.24. We had revenue, including the first half settlement of real estate, of $2,640,576.99. Ending balance for the month in general fund was $7,736,101.81. Land improvement fund began the month at $3,180,790.60. Expenditures of $3,012.50. Revenue of $487.78. Ending balance $3,178,265.88. Retirement reserve account began the month $82,446.24. Only transaction was revenue in $3.85. Ending balance at $82,450.09. Any questions on the financial statement? All right, if not, we'll move over to the purchase requisitions, the pre-approvals. This month, the list consists of $173,446.14. Most notably, we do have one pull-out item for the IT, Microsoft Office Suite information. Total amount request is $24,237, and that is for the Office Suite 2013 software. I did request that we pull that out, and you do have a memo on that because the budget, it would be an increase to budget. We budgeted $9,120. Original plans were to do part of it. However, Don probably will explain to you a little bit more. We feel that it's probably necessary to go ahead and do all computers at the same time. So Don, want to add anything onto that?
Yeah, Microsoft is moving toward a subscription-based software plan where you pay annually instead of a perpetual license. The Office 2013 suite would be a perpetual license. it would be a one cost, you won't have to pay every year. Because of that, we can stretch that out to 2023, so the annual cost would be significantly lower than going to the subscription base. My vendors can't guarantee that they will be offering another suite. They see Microsoft moving aggressively toward a subscription base, so that's why I'm suggesting we do all the continue this year, so we can get the perpetual license.
Reviewed that, and got my packet, and I think it's an excellent idea.
So I'm just double checking, just so that we're clear and everybody else is. So we budgeted $9,000 for IT, and this is over an 8-year period, so that cost would have been $72,000. You're talking about $12,000? That's a $60,000 saving. That to me is a no-brainer. I did have one question back on the pre-approvals. New concrete restroom, Headwaters restroom, that's being contracted out or that's in-house?
We're installing it, that's the actual cost. CXT constructs and ships us the restroom, we still have to take the whole.
Okay, just because I thought we were doing it, so,
And CXD is also in the state purchasing program.
okay. The other thing I wanted to comment on, just because I'm thrilled to see it, is that we've got Vice Patrol uniform shirt ordered for the Rangers. There was a Ranger in the back of the room somewhere at some point. So I guess that means our Rangers are going to be out on bikes more, so
Yes, and that is for the volunteers as well.
terrific. I hope they can keep up with Mike Rose, because he can bike the entire Sunny Brook without having to get off and walk.
And they'll be out there with a new logo as well that they designed this year.
Okay, terrific. Did anyone have any questions? Because I believe we need a motion on the three.
I'm sorry.
Bill moved that we accept our pre-approvals of vouchers.
Jeff seconded.
I did, yes, second.
Overall, Mrs. Shumway?
Vote yes.
Mr. Gertz?
Yes.
Mr. Orndorff?
Yes.
Next item of business is the presentation of vouchers. Before you do have the vouchers, if there were no questions on those, we would like to file those for the audit.
I have one question on those. Oh, sorry, did you have a question?
No, I
We purchased a significant number of iPads.
That's correct.
Did we purchase otter boxes or the waterproof, water-resistant damage boxes for those?
It depends on which department they went in. The naturalist did purchase OtterBox type waterproof items for theirs. We have one in communications. They did not purchase that type of box, but it is a protective case. All of them do have protective cases on them.
Okay, just checking, because Yashko here dropped her phone from the hayloft into the water bucket for the horses down below. And it worked because of the otter box, so it was well worth it. Yeah. Okay, did you have any other questions, Jeff?
No.
Need a motion?
Need a motion?
Need a voucher.
So moved.
Second.
Vote yes. Sorry, I second the motion.
Mr. Gertz? Mrs. Shumway?
Yes.
Mr. Orndorff?
Yes.
Thank you. On to unfinished business. Some items to consider for video production services proposal. 3 different options there coming from the communications department and Michelle.
That is correct. Basically, we have a total budgeted for the cable network advertising and for the video production of $70,500. We do have an outstanding RFP that we'll need to address today for the video production aspect. And we also have some options here that before you that we would like you to at least consider. We did have a meeting with Mr. Orndorff, and we presented these options based on our meeting with him. We feel pretty confident in moving forward at the end of the meeting with at least one of these moving forward, that we could do a kind of a shared agreement that we would probably, in this case, turn down the RFP and not just decide to not use the RFP at all. Reject the RFP.
Okay, I have a quick question. Option number 3 is ad network television advertising. I'd like to know why we need to do this and what cost benefit it would provide for the park district.
Ultimately, it would be a board decision whether or not they want to do the television advertising. It's something that, in case of support for, you are going to receive obviously a lot more advertising in the way of people who may not already be coming to the park district and receiving print media or out on Facebook and receiving the Facebook attention or receiving the Facebook advertising. It's one more option for people to receive advertising that are not already receiving advertising. It's just another option. When we hit Facebook, the first time we put that Facebook ad on there, we were really surprised the number of people who said to us, we don't ever look at print advertising. So it's one more option. How many people out there say we don't look at Facebook advertising and we don't look at print, but maybe they watch TV? It's just one more option.
Okay.
I did, as Michelle has reported, meet with her and Sandy Ward and agreed with the staff recommendation or the staff thought perhaps that the Gary Video and Ackland Studios would be good folks to work with in connection with this project. I think the pilots, the samples that they provided both show promise, and I would discuss with them that I thought it would be good when we're in our early stages of working on this to try and use social media, that we not just limit ourselves to one outfit. But I recognize, as it is shown there on the facing page, that Ackland costs are significantly higher than the cost of the Gary Video. Nevertheless, I'm excited about option number 3 to see where each one of these folks can take us. And at this time, I am not in favor of using network television or any media purchase. So on the facing page, I would like to recommend to my fellow board members that we consider option number 3, having some initial work from both firms, and that in terms of the second option as to how we distribute, I believe that we should select option number 1 only at this time. And as indicated by Michelle, that we would reject all the proposals that were previously made in response to our request for proposals.
Can you clarify in reading option number 1 so that we're sure that?
Yes, the one that I'm suggesting to you, if you are in agreement, and of course we can again postpone this if you and Bill wish to review the products that were submitted for our review, I am suggesting option number 3, where we would contract to have some spots done, some by Lake Erie Video and some by Ackland Studios of Eastlake. And then in terms of what we do with them after we have those spots, I am recommending to you for your consideration that we start off using only social media and we see whether that will be effective or try to get some handle on its effectiveness. And then if we decide that we need to further expand the reach of social media, then we can consider the cable television, which is listed as option number 2 at the bottom of the page, or option number 3, network television advertising. I'm kind of freaked out by those 2 options because they're so incredibly expensive, and for my part, at this time, I'm not ready to stick my toe in that water.
Well, and we haven't tested anything, so I think the best way to go is to do the lowest, smallest first and move forward. So we have a budget that if we would choose option number 3, the total budget then for 2015 is $8,100. Right?
We would have to work within the $70,500 is what I would suggest that you would break apart, that you would take the total budget between the advertising of the cable and television advertising and the promotional cable, the making of the production of them was a total of $70,500 between the two of those. I would suggest taking that budget, at least a portion of that budget, and reallocating it towards the video production piece, and then a portion towards the distribution of the on-air only media piece.
Yeah, go ahead.
Michelle, can you comment on how many spots you think that the district might be well served to start off with in terms of total number?
I would say at least 1 a quarter, probably more like 2 a quarter. So if we did an 8 total, that would be good.
So, and do you have any recommendation that you would care to make in terms of how many spots we would, if we were so inclined to divide it up a little bit, how many spots we would contract to obtain from Lake Erie and how many spots from Ackland? Half and half, or
I would do
2
half
and
and
6, or?
No, I would do half and half.
Right. Well, I'd like to make a motion, if you two are ready to act on this today, to have option number 3, where we contract with 4 spots from each of the 2 different companies, and then in terms of how we distribute them, that we select option number 1 and that we air these spots only on social media.
Sorry, I'm doing this real quick now.
And just so everyone's aware, why we can do that with the budget is actually the total $70,500 is within one account, our contract services account. We break it down internally a little bit more. The county auditor does not break it down to that level.
Okay, so if I'm doing my math correctly, at $1,400 for the first 15-second spot, $450 for 3 subsequent spots, we're talking a total of $3,200 for Lake Erie Video. The next, Aqua Studios of Eastlake, we're talking a total of $29,920. You doing the math really quick, Michelle? That's 4 times, it's $4,680 times 4.
4,680 times 4 equals 18,720.
Correct, so for a total together for the 2 of them is 22,920 for the 2, 21,000. So 22,000 should cover if we would approve that budget of 22,000 right now.
That's correct.
Not 70,000?
22 for the, yes, for the production piece, yes.
Okay. So you're looking for a motion to go ahead and approve option number 3, which is to include both Lake Erie Video and Aqua Studios for a total of $22,000.
And then that we would distribute them at $200 a month on social media.
Right.
Did he make the motion?
That's my motion, yeah.
I'll second. I agree with
Mr. Gertz?
that. Yes.
Mrs. Shumway?
Vote yes.
Mr. Wondorf?
Yes. Michelle, could you, before we move on to another topic, could you briefly then explain where you want to go with this? What value you think it has? Because you did a great job of explaining that to me when I met with you.
Just about kind of an overview of where I think a commercial could go,
Yes.
or a 15-second spot.
Yes.
Okay, when I first see a 15-second spot and where we first started talking about what we hope that these commercials or these 15-second spots will do is to talk about the Park District in a way, and it's probably best I just get right into it and just get into the spot and say it. I want people to see a husband or a father out there and he's fishing with a son, and he's at a lake and he's just fishing at one of our lakes. Or there might be a person doing yoga in one of our parks. There might be somebody doing biking down one of our trails. There's nobody talking. There's just some casual or some real calming music playing in the background, and someone experiencing nature or experiencing our parks. Maybe it's hiking, maybe it's looking at a tree or looking at nature and seeing for the first time, noticing the snake that's there. And the kids' eyes, they get really big when the first time they see something. I want them to be able to see and connect with Geauga Park District. And the only words that would ever go on to the screen is, Geauga Park District, how can we connect with you? And it would never be said, it would always just be music playing, and then Geauga Park District, how can we connect with you? After all these little bits of pictures have gone across the screen. And that was the whole theme of what we were hoping with these 15-second spots.
And that would be in addition to the postings on the district website, which might provide more specific information about programming, correct?
Right. And we may take some of these into talking about maybe some of the programs, special programs we have coming up, but not too much verbiage with that. We really, communications and myself have really decided that we want these to be more about the park and let the park do the talking. But we also may have some ones that we're going to put out there that are going to include some of the upcoming special events, or it might include a program that we want to highlight. But we're really going to try to let the program itself, or some of the footage we have from a previous program, do the talking. So that is the hope of these.
So in other words, we could include things like the bird in the hand.
Exactly. The bird in the hand's a perfect thing. The first time someone holds that bird in the hand, their faces just lights up.
Thank you, Michelle.
Thanks, Michelle. And it's worth noting, some quality video production and how we distribute that. That's been the vision of the board for quite a while now. So it's been bringing it forward because it was a new realm for us in a lot of ways. So Sandy and Michelle, they did a lot of hard work to bring it to this point. And it is costly, but it'll be a nice product. Some of the videos we were able to view were really nice. And Great Lakes, we've had a partnership with them. We've distributed RFPs to them for a number of years, and they're a good vendor to work with. So it'll be our first time working with Augment, so looking forward to it. All right, moving on. New business, budget amendment. Number 3, resolution number 1615 for supplemental appropriations and revenue certification. Appropriations is for $30,000 in contracts for an increase to our legal fees, legal services, additional $3,879.62 to OPRS for a payment that was missed by our county auditor for one of our past employees, and the certification of funds will get some money back for $12,721.05 that we no longer need to put into workman's compensation. So that's good news. That's a lot of money. So for their chargeback program.
And what have we done to kind of alert our staff to the fact that they are fallible at the county system with the PERS program? Are we doing something, Robin, to alert the staff that they should check their pay stubs and kind of make a note?
We could do that, we haven't done anything at this point.
That might be nice, just so that,
Well, fortunately, these errors are extraordinarily rare. And so although an error was made, it's correctable, timely, and that we can make this woman whole again and not have to have her suffer financially because of an apparent inadvertent clerical error.
Right,
I was
exactly.
encouraged that we could correct it.
okay. So we need motions to go ahead and approve resolution 16-15.
I so move. I second. Bill moves and I second.
Mr. Gertz? Mrs. Shumway?
Yeah.
Mr. Warndorf?
Yes.
I have a question. Have we ever investigated or